at this point, I don't think our beloved Samantha Jones needs to return to this series to validate it because it's going down in flames. It's not good. The writing is so bad. I'm watching for the eye candy, the wardrobes. The storylines are a hot mess. These are women of a particular age. What's going on? Justice for these characters, please. Like, Miranda's storyline is getting worse week to week. So, again, she and Che are in LA. She's supporting Che's career as Che develops this pilot about their life, right? She's there. She goes to see the recording, to see it. She's going to see her live to shoot this pilot. And it's on the Warner Brothers lot, and she is not supposed to have a phone. So she hides her phone because Brady, who's been in Amsterdam this whole time with his girlfriend, they've broken up. And she has been waiting for Brady to call her back because this new phone, last week she lost her phone on the beach. And so she replaced it with this Android she doesn't know how to operate. And so she's been missing his calls. Well, she needs to get his call. She's standing in line. Brady calls. He's a mess. His girlfriend broke up with him. He's a wreck. He's all alone in a foreign country, and he needs to fly back. But he says something triggering, and so obviously his mom is worried. So, but they get off the phone. So she's got to wait for him to call back. So she hides her phone, even though you're supposed to hand over your phone because this is a live taping. So she's watching this sensitive scene between Che and Tony Danza about being non-binary and gets the call from Brady, which she got to take. All of us would take this call to make sure that he is okay. He is in crisis. Her phone rings and everybody is like aghast because it was a sensitive scene and her phone rings. So she takes this call outside, but Che is disappointed. And they later discuss this, and Che disregards the fact that Brady mentioned that, he doesn't want to live anymore. He's heartbroken. Che disregards it like it's any other heartbreak and believes that Miranda should stay here and kind of shrug it off. I mean, are they making Che, because Sada Ramirez I don't know why Sada Ramirez and Cynthia Nixon agreed to this awkward, uncomfortable, toxic relationship for this seasoned woman to be coming out and loud and proud about her sexuality. This is not a good representation of it. And I understand that there are people out there who suffer through this even when they come out. But she is looking foolish. She is looking foolish. And I wonder if these writers, two women wrote this, the energy is really toxic, and it seems to be rooted in so much toxicity and patriarchy. It just feels really awkward, and it makes you not want to watch. It really does. It is. I can see if this was a new character we were not familiar with, but Miranda Hobbs is a beloved character, and again is unrecognizable. She sits there, she's taking everything that Che is digging out, and her friends are silent. Even though in this episode, Carrie does say it's time for you to come back to New York, but it's such an aside. And then she is feeling this sort of freedom, or at least that's what she's identifying as freedom, to get like a tattoo. It seems more than a midlife crisis. It seems like an identity crisis. It is not. That alone is a reason not to watch. Oh, and then it gets even cringier with Lisa and Charlotte. You know, their kids go to this private school, the Arbor, and there's this one kid who has compiled a list of MILFs. And first of all, they want to be on it. When they make it, they are happy and they're adoring this child in this very predatory way as he walks by as if he's sexy in the high school. These parents, including Lisa and Charlotte, are clustered and just watching this boy like, who. The writing, this is not quality writing like it used to be with Sex and the City. And there's an awkward encounter between Carrie and Lisette, her neighbor. Lisette reminds Carrie of herself when she first came to New York. And it's the first scene, and it's very awkward, this encounter. It just felt off. But Carrie plans to go to Lisette's jury launch, and they have like this encounter where Carrie just confirms her RSVP. And then she runs off to record the audiobook for her memoir about his death. And she struggles to get through chapter 3. It's very touching and sensitive for her, and she really gives up because she can't make it through. And she suggests that they hire an actress, but they really want her because of the vulnerability. She lived through it, and she has a unique voice. And so they petition her to stay. After a few takes, she still can't get through it, so they break for the day. And then I love this really tender scene where she meets up with an old friend who is also widowed, and and she's an older person. And I like what she said about, there are some good days and bad days. That scene was really tender, but it's sort of diminished in the very next scene where Carrie takes herself to Bergdorf's to go shopping for shoes. It was such a tender moment and an important moment that I know a lot of women in similar situations appreciate it. And then for laughs, they kind of diminish the moment with shopping. And Carrie immediately realizes that it's not as fulfilling as she thought it might be. And so, she calls the producers and lets them know that she has COVID. She fakes COVID to get out of it. Meanwhile, now I love Seema, Lisa, and Naya. Those are my favorite characters. But Seema, she has her ostrich Birkin on her, and a mugger comes by and steals her Birkin. Okay, that happens in New York. Everybody knows. But later in the episode, the Birkin's just lying there in plain sight, and no one noticed it and picked it up later that day or a day later. Come on, that's so unrealistic. Who's writing this? This is so unrealistic. People wouldn't even leave a dupe there. Stop. Come on. An ostrich Birkin. Girl, stop. And they do use a dupe in the scene, and then they replace it because they would never put that on the ground and get it dirty or whatever. But they do replace it with an authentic one. That was that scene. And then I'm not gonna hold you, but Naya turns down another cutie. Girl, stop playing. Although he did he was fishing out a mic from her. I thought that was awkward. It was unnecessary, but he asked her out and she turns him down. It's like, girl, come on. Stop. Come on. Let your husband go, girl. Let him go. Anyway, because you're unequally yoked. Like, he wants kids, you don't want kids. It's not gonna work out. Let it go and go on about your life, your tender years. Like, you could still dip it and do it. Let him go. It's exhausting. Listen, like I said, does Samantha Jones need to come back with this mess? Does Adrian have to come back? They can't save the show. This is something unrecognizable. These are not the characters we fell in love with. I don't know who these people are. These writers have no idea who they're writing. These storylines are so fraudulent. They're so fake. I can't. It's exhausting watching. Like I said, I watch for the eye candy. I'm looking for the clothes. They're so chic. And Trisha Fields doesn't even do the wardrobe for, well, I take that back, because she will be dressing Kim Cattrall when she makes her appearance. The wardrobe is top notch. But the rest of it, the storylines, they are so bad. They are just awful. We're 3 down. There are 11 in this season. The writing is just not up to par. Am I hopeful that it'll get better? Honestly, I'm not. I really need Miranda to stay her butt in New York, let Che go, because this is not working out. It's not a good storyline. I don't necessarily want her back with Steve, even though justice for Steve. I don't want her back with Steve, but girl, no. Absolutely not. Do not do that. Leave Che in LA and let them go about their career, about their business, because no. No. We need somebody. Charlotte, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Tell Miranda the truth, that she needs to keep her butt in New York, okay? Come on. She and Brady can, find somebody new. Let them go. Period. But anyway, girl, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying. I'm struggling. I'm trying to get through this season, but it is rocky and rough. If not for the clothes, I'd be out. Let's talk about these writers. So Julie Rottenberg and Elisa Zaritsky both wrote for Odd Mom Out. Julie Rottenberg wrote for Divorce. Remember that? That's a series that Sarah Jessica Parker starred in a few years back. Divorce. That was actually a good series. I like the writing on that. This writing? Do you know these characters? Because it's giving you don't know these characters. Listen. I'm trying. I'm gonna keep watching, but it's not good. It isn't. At any rate, it's even exhausting talking about it, running down, recapping. At any rate, and just like that, the first 3 episodes of season 2 are currently streaming on Max.